Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. So, taking off from where I left yesterday. Yesterday, 92 MPs from Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha were suspended. Today, another 49 of them are suspended. So, the figure now is 141. In fact, I was just saying yesterday that, in Rajiv Gandhi's regime, of course, the Prime Ministers don't suspend. In Rajiv Gandhi's regime, they suspended 63 MPs. In Narendra Modi's regime, they have suspended 92. And maybe in the future, they will suspend 140. Now, this 140 figure has crossed. So, we have already suspended 141 MPs as on today. 141 MPs from Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha has been suspended. You see, there is a thought process that one can function better if there is no voice of dissent, if nobody asks questions. So, I am the leader and I will lead. Don't question me. Is that philosophy really good? Does that make management sense? And does that make democratic sense? Let's talk about it. Let's get right into the show. Okay, let's detach this topic. Let's talk about it from a Bharatiya Janata Party perspective. Bharatiya Janata Party first said, we will not talk to press. The fourth pillar of democracy, supposedly. They said, we will not talk to press. Why? Because press, they are prostitutes. Till 2014, the same press was not prostitute. After 2014, once they were in power, they said, we don't want press to question us. They are prostitutes. The Prime Minister famously said, I will directly talk to my people. So we had Mann Ki Baat. So that was their media strategy, their communication strategy. Lo behold, it worked. It worked. Because the Prime Minister and the government was operating in a platform where you could say, you could tell, but no one would ask you anything. So it was a one-way conversation. It was not a dialogue, but a complete monologue. And the Prime Minister felt, and the government felt, and a lot of people, incidentally, voters, are feeling that that's the best way to work. Incidentally, obviously, the fact that BJP is being voted again and again in different states of this country means that even we, the voters, think that that style is right. That he talks, we listen. And whatever he says is correct. No question. No other side of the coin. No counterpoint. Nothing. What he says, we listen. Now, from a management standpoint, is that good? You see, an aggressive manager in a corporate world is a very good thing. When the manager is aggressive, he takes decisions. When the manager is aggressive, he makes his team aggressive. But a deaf manager is a disaster. While you are aggressive, while you take your decisions, while you go ahead, while you try and act on every thought, every action, every point that you want to do for your company, but if you are deaf, which means you don't listen to others, and you just do the way you want to do, then that's a disastrous manager. That's how we view it in corporate. A lot of corporate professionals, please write down your views if you feel it is otherwise. Now, when it comes to a democracy, the question of being deaf doesn't arise. Democratic process is that of discussion. Democratic process is that of debate. Democratic process is that of having an opposition which sits there to only be a watchdog to what you do. It will be disastrous if we have a democracy where the opposition, like a lot of our media, says, Pradhan Mantri ji, aap mahan ho. You are great. Your policies are brilliant. The day a democracy has that kind of opposition, believe me, that's end of that democracy. That's end of that democracy. Media is already turned that way. A few opposition leaders were still keeping holding the flag high. Now, that last part of democracy seems to be shaking. As on now, this is 2:30 in the afternoon on Tuesday. 141 MPs have been suspended. I don't know what's going to happen till 5 by the time this editorial reaches you. At 10 o'clock in the night, I don't know the numbers. The numbers could change. I'm giving you current numbers. 141 MPs have been suspended. Now, the thing is, like I told you yesterday, I'm telling you once again, please understand that when you are shutting down an MP from the house, what you are technically doing is shutting down his constituency. He represents a constituency. You are shutting down 141 out of 545 constituencies that has not voted for Bharatiya Janata Party. Which means that constituencies which has voted for Bharatiya Janata Party is still there in the parliament, taking decisions, acting for the people, and 141 MPs whose constituency has not voted for Bharatiya Janata Party, they are out. Think of it. Okay. So now let's go back to our original story. So like I said, when Bharatiya Janata Party came into existence 2014, the first thing they did was they ensured, the Prime Minister said that I will rather talk to my people directly. I don't want to talk to press. Prostitutes. Press out. Khatam. End of story. No press conference, nothing. So that was one. Secondly, now, like I told you, the only other place where people could ask questions is the parliament. 141 people packed out. Third, I want to give you a report from Hindu where the Comptroller and Auditor General, they audit accounts, processes, and they put up reports in front of the government saying that Baba, ye galti hai, this is where we see discrepancy, this is where we see possible corruption, this is where we see things are not going right, this is where you are overspent, this is where you are crossed the budget, so on and so forth. Remember 2G scam? Comptroller and Auditor General. Now, in the year 2014 to 2018, that was the first 5 years of Mr. Narendra Modi, the average Comptroller and Auditor General report were 40. CAG tabled 40 reports per year. ठीक है ना? 2014 to 2018. The second term of Mr. Narendra Modi, that is 2019 to 2023 today, that has come down by almost half. 40 reports are now 22 reports. So, the average of last 4 years, the second term of Narendra Modi is 22 reports per year from 40 reports. So, now the CAG is only finding half the problem what they found before 2014 and 2018, between 2014 and 2018. Now the problems have come to half. I don't know. Maybe after 2024 to 2028, the number of CAG reports tabled in front of the government could be 1 or 2 per year. You never know. It may just disappear. Is this good? So not asking questions by the press, not asking questions by the opposition MP, CAG not, reports coming down from 40 to 22, 22 to God knows what. What are all these indicating? Please think. Like I always say, whichever spectrum, because now I think since our subscription has gone up, and thank you so much for it, we have a lot of people from a lot of spectrum who watches us. So whichever spectrum you belong to, please think rationally for the country and think about it. If there are no questions asked one by one, the concept of questioning is getting over. And I tell you, this concept of not questioning does not increase efficiency. It increases anarchy. A manager who is not questioned, a deaf manager, like I told you, is a disastrous manager. And a deaf government is an anarchical government because they will not know what is happening to the people and what the people want. It will come to a stage where you will have to take what you get. other than get what you want. And that stage is not very far. That's my topic number 1. I have another short topic to discuss with you. According to a report, 10% of the 15 lakh engineers graduating in this fiscal year, that is 2023-24, have landed with jobs. As business is bad, IT sector absolutely pits. In fact, IT sector specifically, the recruitment has reduced by 35 to 40%. So, engineers are not finding jobs. This is the status in our country currently. Now, this is not necessarily because of our government or Indian government. It is not necessarily because of Indian government. It is a culmination of a lot of things. Economy is not doing well globally. So, therefore, IT has been hit badly. And that's what the major job cut has been. 35 to 40% of recruitment has gone down there. So, that's one issue. Another issue is, yes, as far as we are concerned also, it is not that there are huge amount of startups or there are huge amount of industry flourishing in India either. So, the culmination of all this has ensured that the number of engineers who are getting a job, it's only 10%. 10% of the total engineers who have come out, who have passed out, are getting a job. Now, the reason I am getting this topic, I wanted to spend 5 minutes on this topic, is especially for young students, young kids who've just passed out of their engineering college, and their parents and their guides who are helping them to plan their career. So this is, I thought, was a very important subject. And there is a very good statement made by Ms. Krishna Vij, who is the head of digital business. She says that demand is opening up in alternative sector with global capability centers and non-tech sectors like BFSI, that is banking, financial services and insurance. Media, retail and consumer business, life science and healthcare, engineering, research and development, as well as energy expanding entry-level hiring. However, skills proficiency will be the key, as one of the above 45% of the total engineering graduates this year meet the industry requirements. With evolving job dynamics, companies are looking for talents that comes with a combination of soft skills like communication, problem solving, teamwork, emotional intelligence, along with technical proficiencies in programming languages, software, development methodologies, cloud computing and data analytics. You see, the point that she is trying to make, and the point that I wanted my viewers to know, is end of the day, this happens always in corporate India. This happens always for a job seeker, especially the first time job seeker. You see, we form a vision about an industry and then we try to pursue that industry, which is very good. But the fact is, at times that industry may not be in a position to hire you. So it is always better to have a plan B, and that plan B, according to her, is whatever I told you: banking, financial services, insurance, media, retail. These are plan Bs. They are hiring. So if you are good at what you do, the prudency will be to pursue your passion, which is your plan A, but also keep your mind open to a plan B where there are jobs available. Because I have seen, believe me I have seen in my professional life, my corporate career, that while a lot of people focus on a particular industry, they spend a lot of time focusing on that particular industry. Chances are they do not get into that industry. Chances are they go to the level C, level D companies of that industry purely because they are passionate about that industry, which is very, very good. But my submission is, and that is what I think Ms. Krishna Vij is also saying, is that while you are looking at it, while you are looking at your favorite industry, which is possibly IT in most of the cases as far as engineers are concerned, please also keep your mind open to other industries who are hiring. Then to look at an IT industry which is currently kind of 35 to 40% down. The hiring is down by 35 to 40%. This is the small point that I wanted to make. Thank you so much for hearing this. And like I always say, please download our app. Our app is made so that You can get an entire coverage, entire information, entire news, the entire day's news in a matter of 5 to 6 minutes. They are short news. It's made in such a way that you can just scroll through and you can figure out what happened during the day. So please download our app. It is absolutely free. You downloading it will help us financially. It will help us to reach you. So once again, as always, please download our app. Until I see you next time. That's tomorrow at 10. Namaskar.